Okay, I can't believe that I have to make this motherfucking video. Just wait for it. Okay? This video is actually for men, but I'm pretty sure that women will find this shit fascinating, and you might want to do more research into it. See, I'm a motherfucking witch, bitch. And I actually use a lot of techniques in order to go into trance, okay? Now, I know everybody's seen the movie The Goonies. I love this fucking movie. But the video that I'm about to make isn't about these Goonies. It's also not about the Chicago Gooners, which is some team in Chicago. It's about these guys, these Gooners. And if you don't know what gooning is, well, I'm going to go ahead and tell you about it now, and I'm going to try to say it in the most politically correct language possible. Not anything that's going to get me in trouble. I also want to remind everybody that whenever I make videos talking about adult-related matters, I set my TikTok video to 18 plus. There is actually a setting that you can use when you're posting your TikTok video that will allow you to flag your content for 18 plus people, just so everybody doesn't get motherfucking bent out of shape about the topic. I just realized I have a little bit of skeet on my shirt. I need to change my shirt, and I also want to put on my Gooner shirt. Okay, there's these guys that make this self-pleasuring, like, lube for men, and it's called Bader Bomb. And this is the shirt that they make. The Gooners. I was actually wearing the shirt at the grocery store one day, and a guy walked past me and said, "That's funny." And I said, "Yeah, it's not the movie." And he goes, "Oh, I know. That's fucking hysterical." And I was like, all right, I found a fellow goon brother over here. So what is gooning? Okay, they used to have a really great definition of it on Urban Dictionary, but I can't find it now, so I'm just going to go ahead and tell you to save you time. There are certain men that enjoy self-pleasure. I am one of those people. Matter of fact, I think that my sexual orientation is really solo-sexual, okay? What is solo-sexuality? It's really someone who enjoys being intimate with themselves. Like, I have to say, the best orgasms I've ever had in my life have been by myself. And I enjoy taking care of myself, like every day. Sometimes it's a 15 or 20 minute session, and sometimes it's significantly longer than that. Because I live by myself, I'm not in a relationship, and I have time for it. But guys that do these gooning practices like I do, and I have to say that I am one of the original gooners, okay? A long time, 15, 16 years ago, I was one of the guys that actually started this movement. There is a technique that men can do where they go into a self-pleasuring session, and it will be a very, very long session. And when I say long, I mean it can last for a couple of hours. There are some people that will even go for 8 hours. There are guys that will do it by themselves, and there will be guys that get together with another guy, and they'll help each other, and even in groups. And what happens when a man is getting into an aroused state and continues to become more and more and more aroused as they continue to, self-pleasure? The brain starts doing all kinds of amazing things, okay? And if you understand shamanism, and you understand yoga, and you understand, or you're someone who is uses either cannabis or psilocybin mushrooms in order to go into trance, you will understand that fucking with your brain and your brain waves and working with, the serotonin release and the dopamine and all of that creates very, very real physical changes in the brain, but also can open you up to the most amazing spiritual experiences. It's become very common for me to see videos on YouTube today that say, like, masturbation ruined my life. Or this dried up old Karen over here that says, edging, why is it worse for your brain than PMO? No fat motivation, this person. I call them the anti-gooners, okay? They're the people, for one thing, the concept that it is bad for you to touch yourself or play with yourself is 100% a myth. It's based on a Christian worldview, okay? That the body is bad, the body is evil, we need to disconnect the spirit from the body, which is impossible, okay? We need to abuse ourselves and treat ourselves terrible because the world is horrible and you shouldn't experience any kind of pleasure at all. That is a Christian worldview, and it's those conservative Christians that are pushing these videos about like trying to tell boys not to touch themselves and that they shouldn't edge themselves. And if you don't know what edging is, it's very similar to gooning. It's getting yourself close to orgasm and then stopping and starting and stopping and starting and stopping over and over and over again to prolong the arousal so that when you actually blow, you're going to have a really, really, really big load, and you're also going to have a really, really, really intense orgasm. Sometimes guys use porn to watch in order to get themselves there or get them started. And this concept that sex and sexuality is bad, evil, wrong, and we shouldn't participate in it for some reason, or that, here's the big fucking thing, that in some kind of way it's harmful to you, that you're going to hurt yourself by doing it, is bullshit. And it's just another pet peeve that I have that keeps coming through my YouTube feed. And I tell you what, YouTube is trash. YouTube is trash. I don't get anything coming through my feed that is decent at all. Like, I have to search to find good videos. Now, yesterday I made a little video about how it irritated me when women try to tell men how to touch themselves, especially if you don't have a dick. But there is a urologist that I really love, and I'm going to recommend all of her videos right now. Her name is Dr. Rena Malik. She is a urologist, and she made a video called, "Can You Masturbate Too Much? Urologist Debunks 6 Masturbation Myths." She also made a video, "Science Proves That Ejaculating More Often Reduces Your Risk of Cancer," a urologist explains. All of her videos on men and women's sexual health and reproductive health. You must go follow this person on YouTube. I love her. I respect her. I comment on her stuff. I even use her videos in my men's sexual health and yoga teacher training program. Now, here's the thing. Can gooning and edging be dangerous? Well, yeah, if you let it consume your life. Just like anything else, you have to have moderation, okay? If you wake up in the morning and roll out of bed and you can't start your day without having a joint, you probably have marijuana addiction. If you get up in the morning and you start your day by drinking alcohol, like I did as an alcoholic for years, you're an alcoholic, that's a problem. Anything that's going to affect your life, okay, make you less productive or harm yourself and others is a problem behavior. But having the day off and watching a little porn and going into a self-pleasuring session that lasts for a really, really, really long time, and even incorporating maybe poppers or weed into your practice, that is not harmful to anyone. If you have the time for it, you have the time for it. If it makes you feel better about yourself and it gives you self-love, that's wonderful. We should all be practicing self-love. You can't damage your brain by being too erotic. Taoism, which is one of the most ancient religions in the world, sexual practices that men practice have a lot to do with restraining from ejaculating, but also doing sexual practices that are going to increase and stimulate the body without release. Now, I don't believe in not releasing. I think at some point in time you have to release, okay, because it's already been proven by science that can damage your prostate, okay, if you don't release. It has to release because that is what God created. I say God. Nature requires you to expel any kind of fluid because that's what is supposed to happen. As a 43-year-old man, I've been jerking off less. I've actually been jerking off maybe every other day or every 3 days. I mean ejaculating. I do play with myself every day, but I don't always come because it requires a lot of energy to release that energy, and I just kind of like want to save it. I want to store it up. But using self-pleasuring sessions can actually be really, really good in witchcraft, and I'm going to be making videos about sex magic and how to incorporate eroticism into your spiritual practices soon. Okay guys, if you goon, which is awesome, just remember to do it in moderation. Drink lots of fluids, okay? And go watch all of Rena Malik's videos on YouTube.